today we are coming live from New Life headquarters. Okay, so let's just get right into it. So, there have been a lot of things that have taken place over the past, let's say, few weeks. We're rebranding, going through a lot of different things where we're trying to just optimize and utilize the best way to come to you guys and make sure that we're servicing you the right way. Like, and when I say servicing, I mean motivating you, capturing you, making sure that we're giving you our best that we have to give. So let me introduce Mr. Eric Janu. So we already know that you are a cancer survivor of 1%. He had liver cancer, so he survived 1%, the 1%, okay? That's impressive. That's important. Next, he's a motivational speaker, a mental health advocate, all American athlete, former professional football player, youth mentor. But since you've last seen him, let me go ahead and just toot his horn on his behalf. He is now a certified life coach. Let's get into this. What made you even think about becoming a life coach?
I just wanted to help people with their experiences in life. You know, sometimes life is the best teacher. We go through experiences, we go through things, and life is the thing that you can depend on to teach you anything that you need to know. So, and I just figured that with my experiences and everything I've been through in my life, I could just help somebody else just to guide them in the right direction with their life and help them and give them some assistance and some guidance.
Okay. Well, y'all, he's being modest. I don't know what's going on, but let me go ahead and I'm going to put my iPad down because one of the things that, he talks about, he says so many different things that are profound to me that sometimes I just have to capture it. So when you see stuff like always compete, in my mind, I'm like, why you want to compete? Like, why are you so competitive? What's the purpose of always compete? Can you let me? And then Janu Strong. I'm like, what? Where did you even come up with Janu Strong? Let's. I think we need to just go back on a little bit of history because maybe we started out and we just went right into it because sometimes we're eager. We want to make sure that everyone does not give up. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that everyone is always staying focused and making sure that they're moving forward. Like Janu Strong with this, I don't even know if y'all can see it. Like Janu Strong, it has a muscle and it has 100. Explain the origin of that.
We built that way. Like my dad used to always tell us, if you're weak, you're beat. And that's for anything in life. That's with women, that's with drugs, that's with addiction, that's with gambling, that's with anything. He used to always tell us, son, if you're weak, you're beat. And he said, only the strong survive. So, that just stuck with me my whole life. Even when was in training, when I used to train, coming up in the inner city of New Orleans and trying to make a way, try to get a scholarship to get out, play football, and get out and get a vast look on life and get a head start on life, and just wanted to better my environment and better myself. I always felt that I had to be the strongest, strongest in the pack, or be the one in the pack to lead and to get to the next level. So when I occurred cancer, it was just to get in beast mode and just to fight the illness, and you just had to get in a fight mindset, and be strong about it. You couldn't be weak, and if you're weak, one thing about cancer, if you're weak, it'll attack the weakness that you have. If it's with mental, physical, whatever it is, it'll attack it. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to solidify and make sure everything was strong around me and everything was, all the cracks were sealed and stuff like that, and just get ready to fight this monster. So yeah, I had to be strong. I had to be Janu strong. It's just something that's in us, something that's in us. That's our intestinal fortitude that our dad put in every one of us. My mother as well. She put that in us also, to just fight and never give up in those circumstances. Come from 13 kids, raised in the projects and moved out of the projects, and still raised in an environment to where you have to fight, you have to claw to get everything, and to get to the top, you had to claw, and to get out, it was very, very competitive to get out. Either you made it or the hood took you under. So that's where that came from. You just had to be Janu strong. You just had to be strong, period. And we Janu strong. So just like Ram Tough, we Janu strong. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So is that the always compete? So you have to explain, because when we talk about history, like in essence, I know you guys have probably heard where he went through a very accelerated course from, what was that, July of 2021 to pretty much January 2022, before even going to recovery. So always compete was something that you would hear him say from time to time, like, okay, nope, you got to get in, you got to win. There's got, like, there was no time to get tired.
Yeah, it was. I mean, shucks. Either I would have got tired, or if I was tired, I wouldn't be here. So I wouldn't be here if I was tired. Or if I took the latter mentality or the latter approach to things. You just gotta, it wasn't no time for that. I didn't have time to think about what I'm gonna do next or what to do. It was either give it your all, we swinging for the fences, or we'll see you in the next lifetime. And I wasn't ready for that. You know what I mean? I had, my kids were looking up to me and stuff like that, and I had other things to do, finish accomplishing life and things that I'm working on, things that I want to build, like legacy for my kids and stuff like that. So it wasn't time to check out. And me always compete just comes from my competitive nature. Anybody who knows me knows that I've always been a competitor. I've always competed in anything. I don't care if it's pitched to the line. I don't care if it's throwing nickels to the wall. I don't care if it's shooting basketball. I don't care what it is. I've always been competitive with my cousins, with my brothers, with my siblings, friends, everything. And you just compete. Even on the football field, it's like that. I never sat the bench anywhere I went. Everywhere I went, I walked into a position of I started. I never had a chance to sit down and watch people say, okay, take it. No, I've always wanted to compete. That's just been me since adolescent. I just was always competitive. And then growing up with 6 brothers, you always had to compete. So, so it was always constant competition within the family, within my inner family, within my structure. So it was always competition. And, we always had to be better than each other. If somebody did this, I always had to do better than that person. Or if my brother Ricky did this, I had to be better than that. If my brother Kenny did this, I had to be better than that. Rocky, whatever. I always wanted to top him. Champ, Kev, whatever, whoever, Chuck, whoever. I always wanted to be better than them and, always compete. If I wasn't better than them, I always wanted to be on the level with them. So that's when my competitive nature comes in. And it just sticks with me to this day. And just competing period in football, it was always a constant competition. You always had competition. You always had to be on your A game. You always had to be strong. You always had to be on point. So I'm always compete. I don't care what it is. I'm always compete. So.
Oh, all right. But let me say this now. Again, you have New Life Facebook group, right? And that's
New Life Cancer Support.
Okay.
Group on Facebook. Yeah.
Now, with this particular group, I know that you've been getting a lot of messages, just with individuals who are pretty much like at their wits' end. Like when you're in facing a situation where you don't feel like there's a lot of hope, and you have this motto of always compete or to new strong or new life. Like there are certain things that you say to kind of motivate you. What could you say to someone who says, I don't have it in me to compete. I don't have it in me to keep going. I don't have it in me to be strong, muscle, arm, 100, nothing. So what do you tell this particular person that's messaging you, inboxing you, when they're telling you, look, I don't have it, and you're telling me to compete? I don't get it.
Well, I'm telling them what guys told me. You have to, and I do get, like you said, every day I get a ton of emails or DMs or whatever telling me how much I'm an inspiration to people and how I'm inspiring people just with my situation and stuff like that. And I also get the flip side of it telling me that, they've given up, they can't go any longer, they can't, go on. It's tough, and it breaks my heart, man, because I want to help everybody. And the thing about that is, I just tell them, listen, man, you gotta just do what I did, man, when I didn't understand what was going on, and that was to lean on God and lean not on your own understanding, but trust in the Lord and make Him your rock and your foundation. And that's what it is. That's what it is, because what He does is He's gonna strip you from everything that you've ever known. And you're going to need Him in the end. So He's going to make you need Him. I don't care what it is. I don't care what's going on. You're going to need Him. So He's going to make it that way to you. And that's all you have to do. And when you depend on Him, He'll pull you through, even when it's the toughest and bleakest times. I'm here. I'm sitting here. They told me I had 4 tumors. You know what I mean? I had it metastasized. They told me to get my affairs in order. I only had 4 months to live. You got to understand, I went in July, in the end of July, and got diagnosed. The end of July. It was so much so that they pushed it to August. The next week, I was getting a port inserted in my chest. The week after that, August the 9th, I started my first chemo treatment, my first round of chemo treatments. I was on 3 of the strongest chemo meds that there is. So from August the 9th to December 15th, I had 12 rounds of chemo, which is 6 cycles. So in essence, that's like almost 2 years worth of chemo treatment and people. And I had that shoved in me within 4 months. In the 5th month, I was having surgery. This is all I had to, this was a whirlwind for me. So, and they didn't think it was just a gamble, and they, swung for the fences and they hit a home run. So that's what I tell them. If I can do it, you can do it. You definitely can do it. Because I had a 99% to not survive. So if that's telling you, if you just cancel Christmas on me and it's over for me, and I had that 1% in my body and I knew in my heart and soul that I wasn't going nowhere. And if I believed in God, which I did, and I let him take over, my whole process. And once I did that, I knew I was going to come out good on the other side. And, it's tough. I'm not sitting here saying it was easy. No, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. I just did it with grace, and I did it with humility, and I did it with, compassion in my heart for people and for what they're going through. And I just think that if you do that, you'll make it. It's a mindset. It's all a mindset. The devil wants to destroy you and break you down. And you don't want to get spiritual or biblical with it, but you have to, because when you strip it all down to it, it's not the science. It's not the holistic approach. It's not none of that stuff like that. It's God. If you, that's it. I've seen it. I've done it. I've been through. I'm still going. I got a PET scan to go through. On March 24th, I got to go in the tube again. You know what I mean, and make sure everything is okay. And so it's not stopping once you have surgery and once it's saying no evidence of the disease, because it can come back, and I know that. But with God on my side, we're gonna always fight. So, I'm ready, and I just want to tell people, you got it, man. Don't give up. I've seen so many people that are so close, and I've seen them just quit. You know what I mean? If they would just hung on a little bit more, I'm thinking that they would have survived. And I know it's tough. I'm telling you, I've been through it. I've been through it. I got stuff coming up to blow your mind. I know I'm just sitting here looking like nothing's happened. I'm totally A-okay. I'm this, I'm that, and I'm nothing but what God has put in front of you. Period. I went through the struggle. And I documented. That's what I'm saying. We're going to go back. We kind of started out fast. So we're going to take it all the way back for y'all and let y'all see the journey and what I had to go through to get to where I got. And some of the pictures might shock you because it shocked me. But that's where God gets the glory at, because to see me in that manner and to see him restore, to see what he's done to me and the restoration that he's done in my life and what has taken place, it'll let you know that there is a God, man. All you have to do is just seek his face and he'll help you. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that situation.
All right. Mm-hmm. And let's just be clear. When you say 1%, I think that it may sound, it is very small. Let's just be clear. Mm-hmm. It's small. It doesn't sound anything but what it is. But when you have one opportunity out of 100, you have to take it. If you have to bet on anything, you bet on, like, if I know that if God can do it and he's the only one that can get it done, I'm taking the opportunity. I'm going to take the swing, and that's what you did. Mm-hmm. So even when someone said you only have 4 to 6 months, see, the one thing that I can say that you never asked was, how long do I have? I never recall that being a question, and I think that that's something that a lot of times people go into a potentially challenging situation, and we always say, well, what's the odds? What's the percentage? How long do I have? And when someone tells you their prognosis, oh, well, hey, after stage 4 is this. The reality of it is that your mind becomes fixated on that. So when you're looking at a different mindset and maneuvering your mind, we've got to understand that some questions just don't need to be asked. It's all action. Like one of the things you also say is all gas, no brakes. I'm sure y'all have heard that before. When you hear all gas, no brakes, what they're saying is, look, I don't have an opportunity to slow down. This is an accelerated course, and in order to be the 1%, that means I got to get there first, right?
First and fast.
Okay.
Fast and first, either way you want to put it. And I did ask. I didn't ask how much time I had. I asked. Remember, I asked Dr. Class. I said, "Is it curable or whatever?" Remember? And I asked her, "Was it curable?" And she told me that. She looked me in my face and she said, "Eric, let me tell you something." She said, "I'm not a taker or a giver of life, but what I can do, I can promise you that I could do my best to prolong your life." And that's all I needed. I said, let's rock and roll after that. When she told me that, I was like, let's rock and roll. Let's get it, And we went to work. She went to work. She was a mad scientist, man.
And sometimes that's what you need on your team.
She was a mad scientist, man. She was, oh my God. She put me through, oh my God. She put me through any training, worse than any training camp, any 2 a day, any, shucks, any coach, any boot camp. In everything I've ever been through, you know what I'm saying? So she was the mad scientist behind this. So she's the architect. Well, God is the architect, but she was the architect of. He put her in my life and put the surgeons in my life. Everything just lined up, man. I didn't have any problems. I can't, and that's why I said it was all ordained by God, because everything I just walked in favor. Everything was. I never had any problems with getting appointments. I never had any problems with getting hydrations. I never had any problems with getting infusions. I never had, except that one time when they ran out of the cancer, one of the meds, but I didn't need it. She told me I didn't need it anyway. But at that particular time, because my red blood cells were through the roof, or white blood cells were through the roof, I can't remember. I didn't need it anyway. But needless to say, I was just blessed, man. I'm triple blessed. I'm over blessed. Overly blessed. And I just keep sharing this message, man, because I'm obligated to, to be in the 1% to make it. I can't keep this to myself, man. God said, listen, I put this here for you to show people who I am and what I am and who you were and what you will be and what you are. So that's the message.
So in other words, everyone who's had an opportunity to view some of the episodes of New Life is coming back to you, rebrand, update. It's a lot of content. And Mr. Janu is even going to allow me the opportunity to share with you from a caregiver's perspective on some of the ways that you're able to even get through this. So I hope you guys stay tuned. It's dynamic. I can't even explain it. You just got to stay tuned.
It's gonna shake up some things, man.
I'm telling you,
it's
like,
gonna shake up some things.
Shaking up is an understatement. Like some of the recordings and the photos that were taken during the time.
Yeah.
It took me a year to go back and look at them.
And shit, and I'll still look at them, and I can't even look at them sometimes. I can't even look at them. I'm like, I did all that? Jesus Christ, man, I did it. It wasn't me, it was God, I swear. Because if I had to do it again, or even thinking about it, even like going even through this PET scan again, even though I went through surgery 8.5 hours and countless things, it still makes me nervous to this day, even just to go get an MRI or just to go get a PET scan or just to go get the CT scan is not that bad, but the rest of them, when they put you in the tubes and stuff like that, you got to be in there by yourself. You got to be in there for 40 minutes straight, not moving, just in there, just like capsulated. So it's kind of like you got a little anxiety, a little paranoia. It'll kind of get to you. So I mean, but when you have a chance to not live, and you have to do it, so you would have to grit your teeth and bear it. So yeah, but I don't like doing this stuff like that. But like I said, hey, if you want to live, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do some things you don't want to do. So. And
on that note, we want to thank you for tuning into New Life.
We got, not to cut you off again. Yeah. Not to cut you off, but we got my youngster behind the lens now. Got a new production crew. We got my son, Laced by Eli. You can check him out. He got a YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, all that. He's young, hot popper coming up. I want y'all to check him out. College grad, just finished last semester. Valdosta State class of 2022. So you rocking out. I got him on board with us. Bring some new things. Give you a little hip flavor to this day. We're going to see y'all on the other side.
Thank you for joining.
All right.